Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to meet the news on global television. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. President Bola Tinubu congratulated the chairman of the board of the United Bank for Africa, Tony Elumelu, on his 61st birthday. The congratulatory message was contained in a statement signed by Tinubu's special advisor on media and publicity, Ajirin Gelale. Tinubu lauded the foremost businessman and philanthropist who chairs Heirs Holdings Transcorp United Bank for Africa and is the founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Commended Elumelu for his industry and uncommon spirit of excellence that governs the entirety of his enterprise. The president acknowledged the business leaders' streak of genius in driving investment, creating opportunities for Africa's ebullient youth, and providing them with the support they need to soar. He also thanked Elumelu, who in 2020 was named on the Times list of 100 most influential people in the world for his steadfast trust and faith in the sanctity of a greater Nigeria and for always projecting the best of the nation. 16 state governors have submitted reports expressing their support for establishing state police to the National Economic Council. They also recommended changes to the constitution to allow for the creation of state police. The reports were amongst documentations received at the 140th NEC meeting presided over by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. Special advisor to the Vice President of Media and Communications, Stanley Nwokocha, revealed this in a statement. According to the statement, NEC is still awaiting reports from 20 states. It expressed a confidence that others would support. Ahead of the forthcoming Edo and Ondo governorship elections, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has urged security agencies to leverage on the success of the previous election in both states. Yakubu stated this at a meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security in Abuja. The INEC boss explained the need to determine the number of personnel and other assets to be deployed to strategic locations early enough. Michael Edikan has the details.
The INEC chairman pointed out that the proactive approach led to the successful conduct of the last governorship election in Edo State on 19 September 2020 and in Ondo State on 10 October 2020. Therefore, urged all parties involved to ensure the 2024 governorship elections in Edo and Ondo State are an improvement on the success story of the last elections.
It is important to start security preparations early. In particular, the number of personnel and other assets to be deployed to strategic locations should be determined and mobilized early enough. It was this proactive approach that led to the successful conduct of the last governorship election in Edo State on 19th September 2020 and in Ondo State on 10th October 2020. There are no security incidents. Materials were deployed promptly, logistics deployed smoothly, polling units opened on time, voters attended to efficiently, and results collated and announced transparently. Let us replicate the successful conduct of the last governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states. In fact, working together, we should ensure that the 2024 governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states an improvement on the success story of 2020. In the next few months, there will be further engagements with the security agencies and other members of ICSES at both national and state level. We look forward to your plans to secure the environment without which INEC cannot successfully conduct elections.
The Edo governorship poll is scheduled to take place on September 21, 2024. And the Ondo governorship poll will be held on November 16, 2024. According to Independent National Electoral Commission, only 12 parties have uploaded the particulars of their candidates to INEC portal with only 2 days left to the deadline ahead of the Edo poll. Edikan Michael, Global TV News.
1 week after the authorities of Nigeria Customs Service opened the Ilela land border between Nigeria and Niger Republic, the government of Niger Republic on Friday opened its border in Koni for operations. A source, Nuhu Samaila from Koni in Niger Republic, said the border was declared open at exactly 12 p.m. on Friday. He commended the decision of the leadership of the country, the military junta, for giving a listening ear to the yearnings of the people by ensuring the border is open. The federal government has demanded that federal civil servants on study leave show evidence of approval obtained from the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. This is as the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemiroson, noted that the federal government has now put in place a mechanism for routine verification of workers in the service in order to ascertain their true location. This was made known in a memo addressed to all permanent secretaries in Abuja. The federal government had in August 2021 raised the alarm over the civil servants applying for study leave with admission letters obtained from suspicious foreign universities. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State has approved the appointment of his brother, Ferdinand Uzodinma, as his Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of General Services. The governor also reappointed Cosmos Iwu as the Secretary to the State Government, Nnamdi Anyeche as the Chief of Staff, and Sydney Agbo as the Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of Operations. The three officials served in the same capacities in Uzodinma's first 4 years as governor. Also appointed are Patrick Ikeji as the Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of administration and Sam Nwabasi as named as the Special Advisor on Program and Policy Implementation and Monitoring. The Defense Headquarters on Friday said it has declared 97 persons wanted for terrorism, violent extremism, and secessionist threats against the state. Major General Edward Abuba, Director Defense Media Operations, confirmed the names and pictures of the people declared wanted in Abuja on Friday night. The wanted persons, terrorists and bandits and insurgents commanders are from the northeast, northwest, north central and southeast zones. In the northeast, plagued by Boko Haram and Islamic State for West African Province terrorists, 33 persons were declared wanted. The National Association of Nigerian Students in Benin Republic assured Nigerian students in the West African country of a speedy completion of the investigative process into the activities of degree mills, which has led to the suspension of degree certificates from Benin Republic, Togo, and some other countries. The body, in a statement by its president, Ikenga Favor, also urged the students not to pay attention to purveyors of fake news while stressing that the fact that the degrees obtained from universities in the country are valid and legal. The Federal Ministry of Education had announced a suspension of degree certificates from some African countries. The Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, on Friday announced that the federal government has approved the suspension of the 25% penalty previously imposed in addition to import duty on improperly imported vehicles. In a statement signed by the NCS National Spokesperson Abdullahi Mewada, the service revealed that the Honorable Minister and Coordinating Minister of the Economy have approved the suspension of the 25% penalty previously imposed in addition to the import duty on improperly imported vehicles. The Chief Judge of Edo State, Justice Daniel Okumboa, has constituted a 7-man panel to investigate the allegations leveled against the State Deputy Governor, Philip Shuaibu, by the State House of Assembly. This is part of the processes initiated by the Assembly to impeach the Deputy Governor. According to the statement, the panel is headed by retired Justice S.A. Omonua, that the Honorable Chief Judge of Edo State, Honorable Justice D.I. Okumboa, has constituted a panel of 7 persons to investigate the allegations contained in the impeachment notice against the Deputy Governor, Philip Shuaibu. And still in the news, the chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has cautioned media organizations against fake news and misleading reports ahead of the Edo and Ondo governorship elections. Yakubu gave the caution in Abuja during a consultative meeting with the media. He urged the media and the public to scrutinize the biodata and credentials of the candidate when published as provided by law. Michael Dikan has the details.
The INEC chairman urged media organizations to engage with political parties as well as their aspirants on a report on the primaries with the same diligence and depth they report the main elections conducted by INEC. INEC board further assures that the commission will continue to collaborate with the media on the activities of the electoral body.
Important reality in today's age of information technology is the spread of fake news and misinformation instantly and on a global scale. As I said on many occasions, INEC does not believe in censorship. The best antidote to fake news is greater openness and transparency. It is in furtherance of this policy that the Commission interfaces regularly with stakeholders through our regular consultative meetings. We appreciate our partnership with the media, and I want to reassure you that INEC will continue to work very closely indeed with you.
In a remark, the president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Chris Izioguso, says the media will continue to uphold the sanctity of the ballot and safeguard the democratic aspiration of the citizens. He promised that the NUJ will continue to support INEC through accurate reportage of its activities to assist the electorate in making informed decisions.
Together, we must uphold the sanctity of the ballot box and safeguard democratic aspirations of our nation. It is hoped that our collective efforts would pave the way for a brighter, more prosperous future for all Nigerians.
The Independent National Electoral Commission says it will publish the personal particulars of the candidate in Form AC9 for the Edo State governorship election on the 31st of this month as required by law. For the Ondo governorship election scheduled for 16th of November 2024, Professor Yakubu said political parties are expected to commence the conduct of primaries in the next 2 weeks. Adikan Michael, Global TV News.
The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control said it's busted a fake bottled water syndicate at the pipeline road access of the Eneke in Obio Akpo local government area of Rivers State. The agency said the discovery followed a tip-off from some well-meaning members of the public, which its officials speedily acted on. NAFDAC Public Relations Officer South Zone, Cyril Moye, who disclosed this in a statement in Port Harcourt, says the suspects were using a descript shop camouflage as a pool house for the production. Moye said one of the distributors of the fake bottled water was arrested after packing the product and loading them for sale to unsuspecting consumers. You're watching Midday News, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using at Global TV, NG, and other handles now showing on your screen. When Midday News returns, Tinubu Airport Mina gets a $3.2 million Army Aviation hangar. These and other stories coming to you right after this break. Just stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of Midday News. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, the United Nations Security Council is expected to vote on the United States drafted resolution calling for ceasefire in Gaza, as the European Union called for the humanitarian pause, adding to the pressure on Israel to end its 5-month-long bombardment of the Palestinian territory. Washington's Israel's staunchest ally has been gradually hardening its tone following its early solid support for Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu, and his war in Gaza. The latest draft resolution marks a further toughening of Washington's approach amid rising global condemnation of the war in which some 32,000 Palestinians have been killed. United Nations experts have also warned of an imminent famine as a result of Israel's blockade. And wrapping it up, increasing global water scarcity is fueling more conflict and contributing to instability, the United Nations warns in a new report which says access to clean water is critical to promoting peace. The United Nations World Water Development Report 2024, released on Friday, said 2.2 billion people worldwide have no access to clean drinking water and 3.5 billion people lack access to safely managed sanitation. Girls and women are the first victims of the lack of water, and said the report published by the United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, especially in rural areas where they have the primary responsibility of collecting supplies. Spending several hours a day fetching water, coupled with a lack of safe sanitation, is a contributing factor to girls dropping out of school. United Nations agencies have long warned that not only are children and women at grave risk of thirst and starvation, but the lack of clean water also has disrupted medical treatment and hygiene. And that's how we call it a wrap on the midday news. I am Anthony Momodu saying good afternoon.